Hello students, welcome to digital class. Today we are going to discuss about an exciting topic, handicrafts and handlooms. As already you know, we divided this lesson into two parts. In the earlier session we discussed about part 1, handicrafts. In the previous lesson we discussed about Polaya's life, a basket maker from Andugula village, how he migrated from his village to Hyderabad, the process of making a basket, how he procured raw materials from his village, from his relatives. He started living in slums, which were hard living conditions that no one could live happily. We discussed about handicrafts that are made in Telangana in different areas. We also learned that basket makers belong to Erukala community, how Erukala, the word derived itself. Erukala Bhasha was deriving words from Telugu, Tamil and Kannada. We also enjoyed some videos about Sodhi. Today in this session, students, we are going to learn about handloom weaving in Pochampalli. Especially we learn the process of making a saree, that is Ikat sarees. They are very distinct in design and coloring. These sarees being produced in and around Pochampalli, the stages of making a saree. We also discuss the problems of weavers, where the more involvement of middlemen and master weavers. We also learn about cooperative societies that will make these master weavers involving in making a saree. And also we suggest some of the cooperative societies to give boost up to these weavers to strengthen the handloom sector in Pochampalli. If you are ready, children, let us start. In the part 1 we learned handicrafts, basket maker of Andugula village, the process of basket making, selling of baskets on the payments of Chadargarh, urban slums, Erukala tribe and Sodhi. Today in the part 2 we learn handloom weavers in Pochampalli, distinct features of Ikat sarees, raw materials and tools used for making a saree, stages of weaving a saree, dyeing yarn, warp and weft, Jagataya's life, weavers' problems and cooperative societies. I am sure, children, after the completion of this session you are going to learn about Ikat sarees being woven in Pochampalli town, collect additional information about raw materials like yarn, colors and cotton used in saree making, describe effectively the stages of weaving a saree, read the paragraph dyeing yarn and reflect on the coloring of yarn needed for the saree design, understand concepts like warp, weft, bobbin, pitloom, chitkasu, panni, achu and making designs, analyze the role of middleman or master weaver in saree making, suggest the government to strengthen weavers by establishing sales depots, providing raw materials at free of cost, question the deceitful role of middlemen and the role of cooperative societies. Yeah, students, handloom weaving in Pochampalli. Let us locate the Pochampalli. It is a small town in Telangana located in Yadadri Bhuvanagiri district. It is very close to Hyderabad, and there more than 10,000 weaving families in and around Pochampalli, they weave ikat sarees. Students, you can see on the screen this image is of ikat saree. Number of designs are available and they are made of silk. These are made of silk, world famous because of particular style and often referred to Bandini or Pochampalli itself. They are high in quality and simple geometrical designs, and they are available in 3 colors. Patent Pochampalli Ikat Sarees brand. What do you mean by patent rights? These are legal rights for a product or for a company to sell in the name of the brand. That means no other handloom sarees can be sold in the name of Pochampalli Ikat Sarees. Only the handloom sarees which are woven in and around Pochampalli town can sell in the name of Pochampalli Ikat Sarees. That is nothing but patent rights. The first handloom cloth patented in India, that as Telangana people we are very proud of it. No other producers of the handloom sarees in the world can sell sarees in the name of Pochampalli Ikat Sarees. Only those sarees that are produced in Pochampalli and its surrounding villages can be sold with this brand name. So, to weave a saree we need raw materials. To weave ikat sarees we have raw materials like we need silk yarn, colors and cotton. As you can see, students, on the picture, the first picture shows these are the yarns already colored. These are the colors in difference. This is cotton, as already you would see in your villages. The first raw material, silk yarn. Silk is not produced by the weavers. They have to collect from cooperative societies or master weavers. The silk is produced by silkworm, which is fed on mulberry leaves, which produces cocoons. After boiling the cocoons, we will get beautiful silk yarn that you can witness on the image. As you can see, this is silkworm being fed on mulberry leaves and produces cocoons. Out of cocoon boiling we will get these beautiful silk yarn. It is not produced by weavers, but they bought from the market silkworms from which silk yarn is made, grown on mulberry leaves. So, cultivation of mulberry is a small scale agricultural activity. Most of the farmers in Telangana, in other states, they produce mulberry leaves and they feel it is a small scale industry on the basis of agro based industries, and they are supported by state governments and central governments. From there the yarn which is of silk is collected. Colors that are available in the market in different ways. Colors are often made in factories. Weavers buy colors from the market. Cotton, already you know students, the cotton is being produced in the farms. In your villages also you can witness, and that is being sent to small scale industries to make yarn. As you can observe here, cotton in the fields, brought to small scale industries and turning into yarn in the small scale industry. Cotton is produced in farms and made into thread either in factories or as a household craft. Students, we need tools to make ikat saree on handloom. The major tools, as you can see here, are wooden loom with chitkasu, panni, achu, rubber tubing, small knives, designs. As you can see, children, on the image, this is wooden loom. These are rubbers which can be cut into pieces. When tie and dye is taking place, they use these rubbers to make designs and dyeing. Small knives also used to cut the yarn in between. Designs are very, very important. While the yarn is same, but designs are different. These are the beautiful designs of ikat sarees. Warp and weft. Cloth has threads passing from top to bottom and sideways. Warp is the thread which runs from top to bottom is known as warp, and weft is the thread which passes from left to right. That means sideways in a cloth is known as weft. In a cloth, these are two important threads which pass through. Stages of weaving a saree. The first stage is preparing yarn, wind in bobbin, marking with designs, dyeing, nothing but coloring, weaving. Preparing yarn, you can see here Jagataya winding yarn on the ratnam, winding on bobbin. This is Murali marking with designs. Dyeing is nothing but coloring is made in these containers. When color is mixed, the yarn which was in white color turns into desired colors. As you can see here, this container, sometimes they boil, sometimes they dip into the colors and they make. Finally, when the yarn is ready, on the pit loom you can see weaving is taking place. Yeah, students, you have observed the process or the stages of weaving a saree. Let us watch a video on saree making. Yeah, students, as you can observe in the video, a lady is doing winding job. She is winding a dyed yarn on chitkasu. As you can see, this is already colored yarn. With the help of these wooden tools, this lady is winding yarn. This is called chitkasu. It should be done in care and delicately it has to be done. After making winding, you can find this wooden tool is used to wind on bobbins. These are very, very helpful. You can see this man named Shantulu is winding on bobbin. This green colored is called bobbin. Yeah, bobbin winding is making here with the help of ratnam. It is also an important part of making and getting prepared yarn for weaving. After bobbin winding is done, this wooden frame is called nade, that has to be inserted into nade, and the nade is very important to make weft. As you can see, weaver Jayaraju is making weft weaving. Yeah, this is the ikat saree, very beautiful. This is called bridal saree, being woven on the wooden loom. The saree is without much designs, much zari. This is the simple saree. This is how the saree is being made. These yarns are warp, as already we discussed. The yarn which passes from top to bottom known as warp. This white colored frame is achu. This wooden frame is called panni. With the help of all these wooden frames, this weaver is making a saree. It is very beautiful, but delicate work has to be done on this loom. As you can see, he is working with kande. Kande has to be inserted wherever the design is necessary. These gold color lines are zari. So I hope, children, you understood better how difficult it is to weave a saree. Yeah, as you can see, this is the pit loom. He is sitting in the pit and using some pedals. Accordingly, the saree is being woven. So all his manual work has to be busy to make this beautiful saree. Warp and weft. We have to understand the hard work of weavers, and let us all salute weavers who make beautiful ikat sarees. Yeah, students, you have seen a beautiful video on making ikat saree. I hope you understood how difficult it is to make a saree. Dyeing yarn. It is the process has to be done in repeated way. For example, if you want a brown shades between white and black colors are printed using alizarin dyes. Yarn is first soaked in a mixture of castor oil and alkaline earth. Dry again, soak again, dipped in alizarin paste, boil till it becomes red. Iron filings are added to get brown colors. Dissolving iron filing in vinegar, we can get black color. Students, as we have seen in the lesson, we have a weaver called Jagataya and his family working for weaving a saree. Let us have a small case study about his life. He is the resident of Pochampalli. He and all his family members involved in weaving. Jagataya works as winding yarn. When he was young, he used to weave, but as he has become old, he is doing winding yarn. Son Murali marking designs and weaving, and his wife and daughter-in-law do bobbin winding. Yeah, students, you can see, to make a saree you need raw materials, as we discussed. In the same way, procuring raw materials is also as an important topic we have to see in this lesson. Murali, Jagataya's son, procures raw materials like dyed silk yarn, zari and design from master weaver and cooperative society. Jagataya procures raw material at a time to weave 8 sarees. Both this son and father bring raw materials from cooperative societies or master weavers, but they did not leave the membership of cooperative society. Their work and income always we desire the income should match with the hard work they do. But whereas in the lives of weavers, that too handloom weavers, you find there is no match between their hard work and income. Let us see how Jagataya's family gets income out of making a sari. Whole family works for 12 to 15 hours a day. They take 50 days to weave 8 saris. They get rupees 1200 per sari. 1200 into 8 saris, you can get only 9,600 rupees for the hard work of 50 days of 6 members in a family. Students, do you think is this income sufficient for the family of Jagataya of 8 members to survive for 50 days? I think it is injustice from the part of master weavers giving minimal income to these weavers. As already told you, it is insufficient income for the family. During summer, it is even worse that they work for only few hours because the sun is scorching, hot conditions, very often the yarn gets cut. That's why they work for only few hours in summer. What do you mean by cooperative societies? Some of the societies with a same working members or unions which help the weavers to make all the weaving possible. In Pochampalli also you have cooperative society, that is nothing but Pochampalli Handloom Weavers Cooperative Society, which produces pure cotton and silk saris at high quality and also give 20% discount on the sales. In earlier days, the cooperative societies were very cooperative, that they used to procure raw materials at cheaper costs. But later on, it went into the hands of middlemen and master weavers. Not only procuring raw materials, they provide financial assistance through insurance in case of illness and death. They help loans to construct houses. Nowadays, no sufficient work from cooperatives. That's why you can see master weavers replaced cooperatives with raw materials at low cost. They provide loans, they give advances and good remuneration to the weavers. As already you see, in every field there are problems for the workers. Especially handloom weaving sector, you find a lot of problems being faced by weavers. Let us see some of the problems faced by handloom weavers in Pochampalli. Their major problems, as you can see, stiff competition from power looms and mill-made cloth. Mill-made cloth is cheaper than handloom cloth. Pochampalli saris are very expensive because already you know they are made of silk yarn. Middlemen's involvement, no direct contact with customers. Fashions change fast. Weavers do not have any idea of designs which suit customers. Dependence on middlemen for designs and for raw materials. These are the major problems you can find in the lives of weavers. Then what can be done? Who has to save them? Who has to respond? Let us see some of the government's policies which can support these weavers. The role of cooperative societies: they should provide raw materials at cheap rates, they should provide marketing facilities, they should give training in new designs, They should have sufficient work for weavers, and participation in the decision making is very, very important. Provide opportunities to suit to the changing preferences of customers. Master weavers and merchants. I think, children, this is the major problem for every sector. You saw the middlemen involved. For example, let us see, if a weaver wanted to make a saree, let us see, raw material costs about 2000 rupees and his charges 2000 rupees, but final product is sold to the customers 8000 rupees. There is a huge gap between 4000 and 8000. Where does that 4000 go? If you can understand clearly, between customer and the weaver, there is a man called master weaver or middleman. This profit goes to middlemen. So there is a less income for the toilers who toil very hard to make sarees. Let us see the role of master weavers in the lives of handloom weavers. Master weavers and merchants are the major producers of raw materials and market the cloth. They procure raw materials and supply to the weavers. Once cloth is made, they sell to wholesale markets. They pay stipulated price to weavers as weaving cloths, weaving charges. They provide loans to weavers to construct their houses, etc. Weavers have to be encouraged by the governments to set up cooperative societies which work effectively. Let us see some of the key words from the topic so far we have discussed. Raw materials. The materials which are used to make finished goods are called raw materials. Ikat. Ikat is a brand which is woven in handloom weavers in Pochampally. Patent are the legal rights. Tie and dye. Before making coloring, they tie with the rubber tubings, and finally the yarn is ready with the designs. Warp and weft. Already we discussed, warp is nothing but the thread which passes from top to bottom in a cloth is known as warp, and weft is the thread which passes from left to right in a cloth is called weft. Cooperative societies. These are like unions of same work people like weavers which cooperate the weavers to make ikat sarees. A small activity. What are the famous silk sarees produced in Pochampally town? Ikat sarees, Gadwal sarees, Uppada sarees, Mangalagiri sarees. One among the following is not a raw material for making a saree. Yarn, silk, colors, wood and loom. Based on what we have learned so far, let us have some questions. List the raw materials and tools used to make ikat sarees. Why has Jagataya's family begun to weave for a master weaver? Well, students, we have come to the end of this session. I hope you understood well the struggles of weavers, especially in Pochampally. We learned so far how they produce ikat sarees, world famous for silk and design and their own style. But cloth also made not only on handlooms but also in the mills and on the power looms. Whereas in mills and power looms they use huge technology. huge machines. In the next session, children, we learn how these machines are invented, especially in textile industry. That in the session Industrial Revolution, we come to know how these machines are used in England to make cloth. That too, dominating handloom sector, there emerged textile industries using power looms and mills. All the very best. Thank you. Have a good day.